Hey guys, Missy T here. I just wanted to show you one of the biggest ideas that I have ever learned that have really helped me understand why I was doing some of the crap that I was doing and why I was getting the results that I was getting. If you like my videos, please like and subscribe if you want to hear more. But let me get into this because I think if you really watch this and take time to understand it, it can make a tremendous difference in your life. Okay, so this I learned from my mentor, Bob Proctor, and this little guy right here is called the stick person. And it looks really simplistic, but as I go through it, I want you to just think about the results that you've been getting in your life. And as I talk about why this works the way it does, um, think about how you can change some of the things in your life if you're not getting the results that you want. Okay, so we think in pictures as human beings. If I said, think of your refrigerator, you're going to get a picture of your mind in your mind of your refrigerator. So a lot of times when people are talking about the mind, they have a tendency to think of the brain. They get a picture of the brain, that gray matter. And the brain is no more our mind than my fingernail is. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you about how we receive our information and what happens to that information once we receive it. So the circle, I want you to think of the circle as your mind, okay, and this little circle as your body. So we all know we have five senses. We see, hear, smell, taste, touch, okay? But what a lot of people don't know is what happens when we receive all that data, all that information into our bodies, okay, into our mind. So as we see things, as we hear things, we smell, taste, touch things, we use our ability to recall, and we put things in a nice, neat little category because we think that's where it belongs. So our minds actually have two parts. We have the conscious mind, which is what's receiving all the information, and we have the subconscious mind, which that information is pushed down from the conscious mind of what we think we're seeing, hearing. I mean, have you ever seen someone you thought was your friend and you get ready to wave and then you realize, that's not who I thought it was? Or you see or hear a conversation and you think you know what's going on because of how you're processing that information, and then come to find out, totally not what you thought it was. All right. So as we receive the information, we have six faculties of our mind that we use. Okay. They are, and I put an acronym up here called REM-WHIP. All right. We have reason, imagination, memory, will, intuition, and perception. So we have six faculties of our mind. Most people have never even thought about these six faculties as being what really controls us. And if you asked a lot of psychologists, they wouldn't even be able to explain how all this works. They just know what works and the efforts and the results that people are getting. Okay, so as information comes in, like I said, we put it in a nice, neat little box. And our conscious mind sends it. I'm going to put C up here, right? But you have a lot of people say their left brain. A lot of people say they're right brained, right? But we're a little bit of both, okay? Everyone's a little bit of both. So we have our conscious mind, and then we have our subconscious mind. Our subconscious mind is what sends information to our body, and it causes us to act. Okay, so you will never be able to outperform the image that your subconscious mind has about you. Now, you might think, oh, I've got a great idea, I'm going to do this, and you've got, I'm going to call them X and Y type ideas. All right, an X type idea is something that you know, it's something that you believe, it's something that you're able to act upon. And your X type ideas are what's giving you your results right now. Okay? So what happens if you say, I am going to create a business. I am going to make, I don't know, $50,000 a month. I'm going to do this huge idea that you've never done before. That's what I'm going to call a why idea. Okay? Now, you might think, this is a great idea. I can do it. You know, there's nothing that's going to be able to stop me. So a lot of people will set goals. And a lot of times in business and in sales, we will set a goal, and our managers, most of the time we set a goal that our managers are going to be happy with. Now, a lot of times we set goals and we don't hit them. And that is because you are setting a Y-type goal, but you have X-type actions and you have X-type results. Okay? So you set an A-type goal as something you know you can do. If you're selling cars and you go, oh, I can sell 10 cars a month, that's going to be my goal. That's not really a goal. You already know how to do that. Now, if you said, I'm going to sell 15 cars a month, that could be a B-type goal, because you would go, if I call everyone on my list and the people that I'm already working with, if I can get this person to go ahead and buy, and I can wait on X amount of customers a month, maybe I can hit that 15 cars a month, right? So that's a B-type goal. If everything aligns and you have this great action plan and you hit that, but that's not really a good goal either. I'm talking about setting like a crazy goal. Like if you're a 10 car a month person, or if you're selling just anything, think of like the top person, and you think that person is so far ahead of anything that I would ever be able to produce, then maybe you want to look at that as your C-type goal. Maybe your C-type goal would be buying a house. Maybe your C-type goal would be to start a business. It could be so many different things, but what happens is that all this information is coming in, all right? You are using your reasoning factor when you're doing A and B goals, right? But when you do a C-type goal, your reasoning factor is out of kilter, because you think, oh my God, there's no way I can do it. How is this going to happen? Where am I going to get the money? Where am I going to get the prospects? How are we going to get the customers? Where are we going to get money to advertise? And you're trying to figure all this out because you're trying to use that reasoning skill. Okay? So what happens is that you might start moving towards that C-type goal. But all the information that's coming in is telling you it's not happening. You could be at the 20th of the month and not seeing the results that are going to get you to that C-type goal by the end of the month. So a lot of people will just go, just forget it. You know, I didn't make it. There's no way this is going to happen in 10 days. I'll just wait and start again next month, right? Because you're having all this data that's coming in, and your mind is playing tricks on you. And what this is what we call the fear barrier. Okay? Everyone that has ever done anything great in their life felt fear about it. Fear is normal. But you got to break through this fear wall if you are going to get over here to reach your why idea. Okay, so how do you do that? You're going to use this guy right here. You're going to use your imagination. By using your imagination, number one, and you're going to use your will, number two, you act. And this is not a fake it till you make it. You imagine that you're already there. You feel that you're already there. And that will cause you to act as if you're already there. Now, when you do that, you can't let any of these other five senses come in there, because what you're using is your will. You're using your will to focus. A lot of people think of willpower and, trying to force something, and that's not what the will is. The will allows you to laser focus on what you want. Okay? And if you use your imagination and you have built this image of exactly what it looks like to have reached your C-type goal, feel exactly how you're going to feel when you reach your C-type goal, everything is going to start moving, because we vibrate. Everything in this universe vibrates. And they talk about the law of attraction, but the law of attraction is actually a secondary law to the law of vibration. So when you're vibrating, if you can avoid any of this stuff up here, avoid any of the data that's coming in that's contrary to where you want to go, you focus and you use your will and you use your imagination. And sometimes you might get stuck. You might go a little bit and then you think, okay, so I don't know what to do next. That is when you're going to use your intuition. Because when you make a decision, and it's a committed decision to move towards something, everything in the universe starts moving it towards you. Okay? Now, you might not know what the next step is, but if you can quiet your mind and you focus your will on what you want, and you have built your imagination vision of where you want to go, then your intuition, it will come to you. So you just have to trust that the information that you need that's going to get you to your goal over here will come to you at the time that you actually need it. Now, a lot of people will try again and plan and do all the stuff to force it. Don't force it. Force negates. So you don't want to force. You want to let yourself calm and let it happen. Let it come to you. Okay? Now, your reason. How is reason going to help you with all this? Your reasoning faculty is going to help you by having faith and believing that this process will work. Okay? It is irrational to think like this. It is not normal, but if you have faith, if you use your reason and say, it might not look like it, but my reason's telling me that I'm doing the right things, I'm feeling the right things, and this is happening. God is pulling this towards me. Universe is pulling my C-type goal towards me, and it will happen. And you stay focused on it with your will. Okay? Now, if you get stuck, we're going to use perception. Think about a mentor. Think about someone that you know that's really smart and go, what would they do in this situation? A lot of times I call on my mentors. They're not actually here with me, but I think, what would Bob do in a situation like this? How would he be acting? How would he be feeling? You can think about Earl Nightingale. You can think about Andrew Carnegie. You can think of whatever mentors you have. I love Joe Dispenza. And I think, okay, if I was wanting to change this about me, what would Joe Dispenza be telling me? And you can actually use your perception to get new intuition, which can fuel your imagination. Okay? And then sooner or later, when your vibration and everything else lines up, your body is going to start acting, and you are going to start getting the results that you actually want. I love this idea so much that I had this stick person made for me. Of course, you've got the mind, your 6 faculties, your left brain, right brain, your 5 senses, and your body. Okay? Again, if this is kind of making sense to you, I want you to like and subscribe. Make sure you don't miss any of my videos, and put a comment down below on questions that you might have that maybe I can answer for you. Okay? I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time.